guys, welcome to the first episode of Acts of Orange. I'm Maisha.
I'm Aisha.
And we have our special team Orange volunteer here.
Hey guys, I'm Hader.
The theme for this year is Recover and Revitalize Education for the COVID-19 generation. And we're the COVID-19 generation for education.
Yeah, so me and Maisha were both uni students right
and Hader's a HSC student. And we brought Hader along here today to tell us about his experience with this whole COVID-19 and how you guys are tackling it as a student.
How was your first experience?
I mean, in year 10, right?
Yeah.
I guess year 10 was a bit of a slack off year. It was still chill. I guess it took time to get used to it, obviously.
Yeah.
But I guess I benefited that way. Example, so when it happened back in year 11, again, at least I knew what I was doing, what I should have been doing, and just it was a better lockdown.
Yeah. What was the first thing you noticed when COVID-19 hit? What changed?
I guess being with people, socializing. I guess most importantly, especially you're isolated in your home, and it just feels weird. It doesn't feel like how it's supposed to be, especially at school. You have kids everywhere. You have your students, your classmates, and the teachers annoying you, teaching you, and all of it. That's a school life. And I guess ultimately, you don't realize until you really lose all of that. And I guess, especially just staying at home, looking at a blank screen for hours and hours, all the distractions around you. So I guess learning itself was a very hard thing.
How were your finals in year 11? You're in year 12
It was online, and
oh my God.
It didn't feel like a test, especially just a blank computer screen. There's a paper right there down on you, and you're writing on it. It just didn't feel like a test at all. It felt like I wasted a year. It's a year wasted.
Yeah.
So it was hard. It was very hard, to be honest.
I can't believe the biggest issue for you right now is the pandemic. It's completely different for our school experiences.
Yeah.
That's not my issue in school was trying to get homework done, going into school on time, and then for the HSC, sitting and just actually stressing about the exam itself and not worrying about COVID and the pandemic and
I guess the biggest worry for me, or one of my biggest worries, was waking up in the morning, because I used to do extension classes and that was intense. And then afterwards, I guess during the actual HSC exams, my biggest worry was hunger, my stomach grumbling, and just trying to cater for that so the whole of the hall doesn't hear me, doesn't hear my whale call. And what I used to do personally is when I found out that I could take snacks in, I would have a whole setup. I would have
the HSC. That blows my mind.
Yeah, I'd have apricot delights. I'd have nuts. I'd have a whole setup. That
will not pass right now in HSC. Right now in the setup.
I don't know if you guys can even breathe right now in the HSC room. Yeah,
I remember going to Saturday school.
Wow.
I went to Saturday school to do math and English and to really prepare for the HSC. And I don't expect you guys. I don't think you'll be having any going to physical school on Saturdays. There's not that that stress.
They have all the stress we had, and then the pandemic.
Yeah. And it's all online, and it's all new as well. This has never happened before.
Yeah, it's crazy, and we can relate to you though when it comes to uni, because I know it's been a tough time in uni. But I could see the teachers trying, and I could tell the professors are trying, because they were just introduced to all these at the same time.
They're trying to really accommodate for giving us a quality education while COVID-19 really is putting a dampener on a lot of things. Going into tutorials, going into lecture halls, actually socializing, that's the biggest difference that you faced, right?
100%.
Being surrounded by your friends, and then getting the opportunity to go out and stuff like that. It's really surprised that you wanted to start volunteering at Penny Appeal, even with the COVID-19 happening.
I guess, especially with Penny Appeal, I don't take volunteering itself. I don't take as a burden. I take it more as a gift for yourself, especially when you'd be stressed with school and learning. I guess going out with other people, meeting new people, making a difference was more of a gift to yourself, more of a gift, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was more than just school with life, especially through when we had so much time at home. When we had so much time at home.
It'll be a bit of a stress relief considering the fact that you're going to go into HSC.
Exactly. And meeting new people, learning, and that was probably the best part. Especially myself. I guess I'm more of a social person.
That's good.
So I needed more people to talk to, and volunteering was one of the best choices I made.
Well, we're glad that you're enjoying your time here at Penny and Pure. I guess, going back to your other point, the importance of education and how much effort our teachers and our lecturers have put in, it just goes to show, like, how important, how significant it is in our lives. And that's why I believe that celebrating today and really acknowledging today is...
Having, like, that access to education is so important, because even now, like, they're trying so hard to provide the best source of education for us, and there are people out there that don't have access to education. At Penny Appeal, we really try hard to provide those resources to them.
Yeah, we have actually for the orphan section of our website, we have education first, and basically you could donate $1 a day to help educate an orphan, or even $30 for a month. And basically just you adding in a few dollars can make the biggest difference in a child's life, because you never know who you're supporting. They could literally be the next lawyer, the next community leader, the next doctor, the next engineer. And it's just the fact that education opens so many doors. It's amazing. And that's why we just really wanted to come here and talk about it. Now, when it comes to how important education is to me, I know I come from a household that really values it. And it's not about, they don't force it upon me. It's more like, hey, if you're good at this, go do it. And with us, all of my siblings, it was all about going to school, doing what we're good at, and enjoying it. It was never forced onto us. It was never something like, go study or you won't go out to play.
We had the opportunity to actually go and have an education, and have the opportunity to be better, to have like an impact in the community. And that's what our parents kind of gave us. But also there are a lot of people out there that don't have access to this.
Yeah. Now, with education, like, how do you, like, where is it? Is it your top tier, second? Like, where is it placed in your life?
Personally, I think education is what makes us human. It's what really sets our values, our morals, and ultimately shapes us to where we're headed in life.
Yeah.
So I guess school was more than just a place of learning what's 2 + 2, what's algebra, what's English, what's Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's more about social skills, meeting new people, ultimate life skills, and life skills you can carry on, throughout your whole life. And education itself was very important. It really led me to make these choices to where I am right now. Education gave me the opportunity to actually volunteer, and all of this and all these benefits that I get, everything I get, came from education. So I guess without education, we don't know where we could be right now.
Very grateful.
It opens a lot of doors. It's not just about you sitting in a classroom and looking at a chalkboard or a whiteboard, or nowadays a smartboard. But it's from that moment on, when you walk out into the real world, you're applying all these skills that you would never thought you'd apply. And like people say, trigonometry, I'm never going to use that again. But like, it's not about you sitting down doing the question and whatnot. It's more about the discipline, the will to do it, and things like that. It's about those type of skills that are applicable in the real world. And I think personally with me, how important education is to me. I know one of the things my grandpa that really inspired me to actually continue to study and do engineering was, as a female, as a woman, he was like, you guys need education. And it's crazy to think, like, because with him, he's from the older generation, and women studying is not a big, like, it wasn't a big thing. But with him to come and say that, like, no, you have to go to uni, you have to become educated, you have to build a world for yourself. And it really goes to show that education is literally going to open so many doors. You're never going to know.
Exactly. Like, honestly, like, it is a privilege. Education is a privilege, honestly. But I remember my parents, like, they came from a third world country, and they came to Australia to provide the absolute best for their children. And they gave me the opportunity to study in school and then come to uni, and I'm like in my 4th year right now, and I'll finish my degree and then have the opportunity to build a career and help out people that don't have access to these education and these resources. And I think that's why I also joined Penny Appeal as well, to help provide and raise awareness to issues like this as well, and provide access to education for vulnerable children and orphans, and just, you know.
Yeah, going back to your point on, I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand when I went to, like, the many times I visited Bangladesh. Like, you know, instead of, you have little kids, literally 7 years old, selling things on the street, like lollies and balloons and whatnot, when they could be in a classroom learning. And it's all because, it's all because they don't have access. They don't get the opportunity to. They don't have the funds, the resources, and it just blows my mind, because kids their age in Australia are literally in a classroom colouring in, doing maths and playing with their friends, and then you have kids in third world countries, you have orphans as well that are
side of the street, just trying to
make a living, just trying to live, and it's crazy. And I feel as though the good thing is, we as volunteers, we as humans, we can literally help them out. And you providing a few dollars, you going out of your way, not even going out of your way, you just literally, you know, giving $1, donating $1 can make the biggest difference in these kids' lives.
For these children that are like trying their best really to live in this harsh reality, honestly.
Yeah, and it's crazy, because just by doing that, you're literally funding for these children to become the next lawyer, the next engineer, the next community leader, whatever they want to be. You're opening up these doors for them that we had.
I guess
that we had.
Ultimately making life, basically living really what makes up life, and so
become part of society as
100%,
well.
100%.
Yeah, and I guess that's why education is important to us. And
you could really help on this day as well if you want, like, what was
and you could help us during this day and basically celebrate it, acknowledge it. And a way to make a very good difference, a very big difference, is by jumping onto our website and then going on the orphans section and basically providing a few dollars. Because sponsor a child.
I guess during the pandemic as well, we really realized the value of education, the value of,
100%.
especially this pandemic, there was what silver lining behind the dark cloud or something.
Exactly. There was a silver lining. And
so I guess we just realized the importance of it, so
we
can
realized
help.
the privilege that we have, you know, having education and, you know, going to school, going to uni and learning something, where there are people out there that are also facing this pandemic, and they're just trying to make a living on the street or, like, you know, just at home. So so
I guess today we really showed how education just opens a bunch of doors, and how for you it led to, you know, volunteering. For me, it led to just acknowledging it better.
And realizing that we have this privilege of actually going to uni, going to school, being active members of society as well, and realizing that we can actually make an impact and raise awareness for these people that don't have access to education, help them out.
Happy International Day of Education.